Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Film Geek. Today I'm talking about the 2016 film Shin Godzilla.
We've yet to positively identify what sort of animal it is, but we don't believe that it could come on land. Even though it's unlikely, should it beach itself in the bay's shallows, there is no need to fear. Our experts believe its own weight would crush it to death. I repeat, there is no danger of the creature coming ashore, so please set your minds at ease. Thank you. That will be all.
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
What? It has?
Shin Godzilla is a remake, reboot of the original 1954 Godzilla movie. In this film, he's not fighting a different monster or anything of that sort. He is the monster. Shin Godzilla may have only been released in a handful of movie theaters in the United States. It was a huge success in Japan. In fact, it won Best Picture at the Japanese Academy Awards. That marks the first time that a Godzilla film won an Academy Award. This also marks the first time that Godzilla isn't a man in a suit. They actually use CGI special effects to make Godzilla. And honestly, they look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Generally speaking, for my Godzilla movies, I like my man in the suit, rubber bouncy costume bouncing around on the screen. It's a lot of fun. This movie has a much more serious, more realistic tone, so the use of the CGI really worked very well in this film. So what do I like about this movie? Well, first off, I love this new Godzilla design. He looks freaking evil. His mouth, his teeth, he just doesn't look like any kind of creature that would exist on this planet. I really dug the way that he's in different stages. When he first shows up, he's like a tadpole that's crushing everything, and I don't know if this was meant as something that they meant, but he looks just so goofy in his first form. He's got like these big old googly eyes, and he just looks so silly. But the thing is like the special effects are really well done, so even though he looks super goofy, he looks super realistically goofy. So behind him, that one right there, they were able to make that silly design. I mean, kind of frightening, because if you think about it, no matter what, if this goofy, googly-eyed, giant slug thing was chasing you down the road, you're gonna run from it. You're not gonna be laughing. Another thing about the movie is that it's very focused on several different people, all involved in some way, shape, or form in the Japanese government trying to stop Godzilla from destroying all of Tokyo. There's the Prime Minister, there's all these, there's just tons and tons of people. Now look, I don't know much about Japanese politics. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend like I know anything about Japanese politics, to be perfectly honest, but I kind of feel like this movie was spoofing the inability for government to really do anything. Even though I don't know much about the government in that country, I feel like they did a great job of just showing how much kind of red tape clogged networks and all this country has, and how hard it is for things to happen. So I don't know if that is the case, because again, I don't know anything about their politics in their country, but it just seemed, if it's one thing, let me put it this way, if it's one thing I do know, I know a spoof. So, in my opinion, I feel like that's what it was. They were trying to make a political statement here. It's just lost on me. I'm sorry. But I still like the Godzilla monster. He's looking good. Okay, now, I have said that the special effects are pretty awesome, and that is true. I have spoke a lot about the CGI Godzilla, so I'm not going to talk much more about CGI Godzilla. He looks good, he looks great, blah, blah, blah. But they also use practical effects along with the CGI. A lot of the buildings you see exploding were models that were created. And I'll tell you what, I think it gives it an extremely good, very realistic look to it. There's also a scene that I think they must have dumped all of the monies they had into this, and it is when Godzilla uses his atomic breath for the first time, and you get to see the destructive capabilities of the atomic breath, and man, that entire scene was mind-blowing, and the special effects were really great. The whole scene is just so well shot, and that brings me to the other thing I love about this movie, and that is the cinematography. It's really well shot. I mean, for a movie that you could just go, oh, it's just a silly Godzilla movie. No, it's not. This one tries to throw a little artsy fartsiness into it. And what I mean by that is some really cool pull away shots. They use some really interesting angles to, invoke some different feeling or emotion. The way they film Godzilla, even though he's a CGI, the way he shot a lot from the bottom looking up, which is just a really good way to film Godzilla, to really, especially if you're trying to, make him scary, if you're trying to make him look huge and scary, you always want to make sure you film him from looking up like that. And the movie does a great job in aspects of cinematography, sound, everything is great. Now, I will say that I did watch the dubbed version of this film. I know, I'm not getting into it, and the reason why I watched the dubbed film was because I wanted to be able to take everything in all at once in this movie, not have to pay attention to reading or anything like that, so that when I did my review to you guys, I was, I noticed everything. Let's just put it that way. So yes, everything I'm saying here is based off of the English dub version of the film. Other than that, like I said, it's a really, really good, really entertaining movie. Now, I'm not sure if people who aren't already very well established fans of Godzilla are going to really enjoy this movie. But I will say that if you were a fan of the 2014 Godzilla, the United States version Godzilla, I think this movie's got a little bit for you too. I think you will enjoy this movie. It's a great monster movie. If you're someone, you don't necessarily have to be a Godzilla fan. If you just like a monster, you like monster movie horror movies, this is going to be your jam. Alright guys, if you're interested in checking out Shin Godzilla, it is currently for rent on YouTube, Google, and Prime. Alright guys, thanks for checking out another one of these Film Geek videos. If you liked what you saw here today, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and ring that bell for notifications so you know when I put up another one of these videos. And there's only one more thing that I have for you guys to do, and that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.